Good afternoon, welcome back to Euro 2024 Live for our second game of the day as Poland take on Austria in Group D. Both sides lost on match day one to their respective opponents, the Netherlands and France, and both will want to get points on the board. A win is almost a must at this stage for these two if they want to try and claim that third place or even higher in the group. The Netherlands and France, if it ends a draw here this afternoon in Berlin, would have a chance to qualify for the knockouts with a victory a bit later on. 3 points for these two will be huge heading into the final days, with both playing one of the top two, France and the Netherlands, on the final day. This is their chance against a side of similar quality to them to try and get that 3 points that could be so crucial at a possible knockout place. The national anthems underway in the Olympiastadion in Berlin. A second group game in the German capital. The previous one, Spain against Croatia, when Spain won 3-0. And one of these sides will be hoping that is the same scoreline for them here this afternoon in Group D. Let's have a look at the two teams then. And Poland start with Wojciech Szczesny in goal again. A similar defence to the one that started against Netherlands on match day one. Frankowski continues at right wing back. Jan Bednarek is now partnered alongside Paweł Dawidowicz in centre back alongside Jakub Kiwior, and Nikola Zalewski is taking up left wing back. Midfield is Piotr Zielinski continues as the captain in the middle. He's alongside Jakub Pietrowski and Bartosz Ślisz in midfield, with the front two of Krzysztof Piszczek and Adam Buksa. Buksa, who scored Poland's opening goal against the Netherlands on match day one. For Austria, they start with Patrick Pence in goal, who made some crucial saves against France in that game that they ultimately lost to the World Cup finalists. Stefan Posch continues at right back. Philipp Lienhart comes into the defence alongside Gernot Trauner, who continues, and Philip Mwene making up the back four. Florian Grillitsch alongside Nicholas Seevold, who really run the second half against France and were the leading charge of the Austrian attack against France in the first game. A front four with one change in it. Konrad Leimer off the right. Christoph Baumgartner continues alongside Marcin Sabitzer, with Marko Arnautovic leading the Austrian line, and he captains the Austrian side under Ralf Rangnick. A change from Entrup, who was in that game last time out. Right, Poland-Austria both need a result here in Group D, and kick-off in Berlin is next. A very good afternoon to welcome to our second game of the day, and two very interesting teams setting up this afternoon. Two very strong strikers on both teams, one on the bench and one starting. Marko Arnautovic, the main man up front for Austria. Poland's main man, Robert Lewandowski, is on the bench and could make an appearance a bit later in this game. We will see. At first, though, they will take a moment of respect inside the stadium, as has been the case with the last couple of group games, to remember the former UEFA General Secretary, Gerhard Einer, who passed away in the last few days. So we will have a moment of respect inside the stadium to remember the former UEFA General Secretary. A moment of applause, well respected, inside the Olympiastadion to remember the former UEFA General Secretary, Gerhard Einer, who died at the age of 80. Wonderful moment. To the football then. Thank you to Thalmer, who's joined as a welcome to the hardcore fan as a member there on LFS. Thank you very much. Leaf Morgan also in the chat as well. That's so insulting not putting I'm guessing Robert Lewandowski in. I don't think he's fit enough. He didn't play in the first game for Poland, and he should be fit enough to make an appearance, just not from the start. But if you're going to want someone to come off the bench to try and get you a winning goal, it would be Robert Lewandowski for Poland. And we will see if he does make an appearance for his side this evening. Bit of a misty area of the pitch down the middle. There was a flare so earlier on. It's got a bit misty in the middle. Just awaiting the kick-off then. The countdown is underway. Poland in all white, Austria in all red. Pretty simple distinction between the two. As we get underway at the Olympiastadion in Berlin. The second group game in the capital and the host venue of the final. That these two sides would love to get to the knockouts, but they need points to do that. And neither of them got anything out of their first games, but this is their chance. And Mwene, early chance here for Austria as Arnaudovic's cutback was hooked away. And out for the throw-in down the left-hand side. Good start from Austria, who were very impressive against France. Held the top-quality French side to just an own goal against them in that game. On match day one, it wasn't the most convincing of a performance from the French, but they had a lot of opportunities, but couldn't find any more goals than that own goal. Scored by the player who makes way here tonight, Max Ferber, in the Austrian defence. Philipp Lienhardt in his place. Michel Probers, his side, actually took the lead in their game against the Netherlands, Poland. And they felt that they could have got something out of that one, but that late Wout-Weghorst winner denied them anything on match day one in a very hard-fought game for Polska. They opened the scoring through Adam Buksa. Cody Gakpo levelled in the first half before Wout-Weghorst winner secured the 3 points for the Netherlands in a tight game in that one on match day one. And both of these sides making it difficult for the big teams in the group. So they can have promise from their first performances that there is a lot to take into this game. A lot they can do, and they can cause a threat to each other's defences. As Arnautovic tried to turn there, felt he was fouled, but referee sees nothing wrong with that challenge, and Poland did have the ball. They cleared it away and give it away as Leimer tried to play it round the corner to Baumgartner, picked up by Posch. Again, well closed down. The retreating Schleich there, and the clearance down the line by Zalewski. And there will be a free kick here, given against Gernot Trauner. The Austrian centre-back committing the foul on Adam Buksa. Will be an early free kick for Poland, just inside their own half. It's a committed challenge. Leaf says, my young son also not happy Robert L isn't in the lineup. Well, he might see him a bit later on, and he might have a star performance. You never know. Robert Lewandowski, Barcelona, absolute goal machine, has been that for Poland over the years. Here's Sabitzer though for Austria, and Arnautovic just trying to get on the end of it, but just evaded him in the end. But a positive start to the game for Austria, I'd say. It just edged the early few moments, had a good few bits of play in the final third, but nothing too testing for Szczesny so far. Szczesny, who had a big performance against the Netherlands. The Netherlands had over 20 shots in that game against Poland. He deservedly got the result in the end, the Netherlands, but Poland's probably felt that they'd done enough in the first game to see them out, although they're under pressure here early doors. Here's Sabitzer, lifts it across. Arnautovic takes it down. Just went a bit wide of him. He will keep it alive. Posh lifts it into the box. Sabitzer, the one chasing, and put behind by Frankowski, and behind for the corner. Poland under early pressure, and Austria starting to click early doors here. It's a really good shot, that camera angle from the aerial view of the stadium. And the Austrian fans anticipating a good delivery here from Marcel Sabitzer for the corner. The Borussia Dortmund man. Right-footed delivery all the way across. Szczesny couldn't get a clean touch on it. Has to just palm it away. Brought down by Sabitzer again on the left. Back he will go to Mwene. To Leinhardt. To Mwene. As that short pass from Sabitzer puts Austria under pressure, and they run through there from Pieszczek. Will get them a free kick here. Pieszczek was pulled down by Philipp Leinhardt. It will be a free kick to Poland. Short pass back from Sabitzer, trying to find Mwene. Nicked away from him by Zielinski. Just nicked it. Got them forward, Poland, and won the free kick there off Pieszczek. But the free kick comes to nothing, as Pieszczek was trying to threaten Pence, but easily cleared and easily dealt with by the Austrian keeper. Patrick says he wants Poland to win. Leaf agreeing. So some Poland fans in the chat. Austria probably started the better of the two teams, but a long way to go yet. But you can see Austria starting to have that early threat. They allowed France to take a bit of control in their game against them on match day one, and they really kind of lost their way a bit in the game. Austria, they struggled for the majority of the first half. Ended up having a lot more threat in the second, and probably could have got a late equaliser against Les Bleus, but strong, rock-hard defence from France kept them out. But Austria are a good threatening side, and they will have a free kick here, which Sabitzer will look to deliver. Bodies up for Austria's. Sabitzer for the delivery to the back post, but over the head of Stefan Posch there, and that will run out for a goal kick. Pretty lackluster delivery that from Sabitzer. Should have done a lot better. Marcel Sabitzer, of course, 30-year-old, was on loan at a couple of clubs. Joined Bayern Munich in 2021. Went on loan to Manchester United for half a season last season, for coming back to Bayern and then joining Borussia Dortmund for an undisclosed fee in the summer of last year, and has got them on that run to the Champions League final. Borussia Dortmund in his first season there. It's Sabitzer, and luckily they lost that Champions League final, but he was a big part in them getting there. As Arnautovic there felt a bit hard done by. We'll get the free kick out of it, but he's trying to say that a couple of those fouls coming in, he's not happy with a few of them. Just watching Rolf Rangnick there. Watching on. Sabitzer will look to deliver again. Look to do a bit better with this delivery now. From the right hand side. Fizzed across. Cleared away at the front post. Brought down by Leimer. Back to Sabitzer. Still bodies in the box for Austria. Right to Mwene. Down the left hand side. Flicked on by Posch. And Philipp Mwene will again be blocked off by Frankowski, and it will be a throw into Austria down the left hand side. Bit of resilience in Poland and their defending so far. A lot of resistance, but Austria persistent in their attacking. Long throw from Mwene here. Looking to be flicked on by Troner, but cleared away as Mwene wins it back again. Really good, delivers again. The header is in from Troner. He looked to try and threaten from the long throw. Buena wins it back, delivers again, gives him another chance, and he doesn't miss that one. Gernot Trauner getting Austria off to the perfect start in Berlin. Started the better and have found the net first. Poland just haven't got broken free out of them yet. They've kept them held in their own half, in their own defensive third in the early 9 minutes. And that was a wonderful header. Great delivery by Buena. And that was really good header. Strong. Glancing header. Too much, too high for Szczesny to try and keep out. And that's a really good goal. Early in the game. Gives Austria the lead. Celebrated by Ralf Rangnick, who applauds his side in their persistence to keep the ball up the pitch. And their centre-back Trauner gives them the early advantage. Their first goal of the tournament. They could follow it with a quick second. Sabitz's one blocked. Poland struggling to get out. But a really feisty looking Austria side. Looking to threaten early. And press well. And so far, Michel Probers, the Polish head coach, is certainly not a happy chappy on the sidelines, as we say. Bit frustrated there. Leinhardt. Buena. Back to Trauner. Now Bosch. Down the line. Baumgartner. Back to his keeper. Pence goes long. Trying to find the run of Leimer, but well dealt with back there by Kivior. And it will come all the way through down the line from Poland. And easily recovered by Gernot Trauner there, the goal scorer. Trauner, the Feyenoord central defender. That's only his second international goal. 12th appearance and 2 international goals now for the centre-back. And here they come again. Here's Buena. Lifts it into the box. Arnautovic was the target that time. Headed away by Davidovic. That's good work down the left here from Zalewski. Bricking forward. Down the left, trying to feed it into the channel for Petrovski, but well cut out again by the Austrian defence. That time it was Stefan Posch that committed the challenge to win the ball back. And a marauding run into midfield there from Grilic. We'll get him a free kick and play it across to Siewald. Posch. Not seen much of the Austrian midfielders. Most of their plays come down the wings. When they play their midfield, they've given it away here. Here's Schleich. Played it through, and Zielinski's ball. This misplaced again, and when to get it away is Leimer again. Tries to get Austria forward, but body's in the way there to wrestle it back for Poland. As Kivior has to deal with that. Ball from Szczesny, chests it down well. But a great start for Austria. The moment that would see them level on points with the Netherlands and France and really give them a bit of headroom and make it almost impossible for Poland to try and get a third place heading into the final day. 3 points may not be enough. And both of these sides will know that. Know that's the case and know this is a huge moment, huge game. Arnautovic has started well. Here's Buena. Down the left-hand side is Sabitzer. Looking for the reverse cross. Again cleared away by Bednarek that time. As Austria again win it back quickly. And look to get the ball forward. Really posing an early threat here. Austria. Baumgartner, nice touch. Find Posch. Back it comes to Trauner. Grilic just has to skip away from Pieszczek there. Grilic. Out to Philip Mwena. And Grilic almost giving that one away. He had to rescue that short pass by Mwena, as it will come back out to the left fullback here for Austria. Patient in their passing as they find a bit of space here for Baumgartner to get on the spin. Lays it off now to Arnautovic, and trying to play the ball in behind, but Posh not on the same page and wasn't going to chase that one from his captain Marko Arnautovic, and that will go right behind for a Polish goal kick. Austria dominating the early possession, over 60% of the ball, deservedly leading as they come forward again. Baumgartner lays it off to Sabitzer, back to Mwena. Grilic, Limer on the turn on the edge of the box, closed down, back to Posh. Really strong start this from Austria. Poland having to cling on here at the moment. Sabitzer, Mwena, Sabitzer, looking to eye up that cross, couldn't find the gap. It's Grilic, come out to the left wing to try and help out, has to go back to Mwena, and now Leinhardt will just pass it back to their keeper Patrick Pence. First quarter of an hour, and it's been almost all Austria so far. Can't really remember Poland getting into the final third in this first 15 or so. Majority of their possession has probably been set pieces so far, Poland's, or in their own half. Speaking of, here's Zalewski. Heavy touch in midfield there by Schleich, and they lose the ball. Given away to Seevold. Fizzed across, Sabitzer tried to get on the end of it, but shielded there well. Did get the shot in, but pace completely taken off it and gathered well by Szczesny. Here's Frankowski. Does well with Piszczek. Lays it off to Zielinski, Polish captain. Piszczek, nice turn from Buxa, but again well marshalled. Although Buxa's won it back, he'll get it to his captain Zielinski. Cries a handball from Poland. Referee says no. Of course, VAR will have a look, and the Turkish referee Halil Umut Meler. It's not handball. It did hit the arm of Philip Mwena, but there's nothing he can do there. It's by his side, it's in his body, tucked it in. There's nothing in that in terms of handball, but it was better from Poland. They didn't just give up. Buxa was dispossessed and he battled back, won the ball back, and find Zielinski, who had the shot. There's a slight glimpse. As Zalewski now down the left, tried to go for the cross, blocked out there by Seevold, and it will be a throw into Poland down the left hand side. Go for the long throw here, Zalewski. Plays it forward, trying to sneak it in behind. The cut back to the edge of the boxes. Well dealt with, although given away there by Grilic. Poland back on the ball again. Now with Petrowski. Bednarek lifts it over the top, looking for the run. Now out to the right hand side, the cross from Frankowski. Falls to the back post and swung over the bar by Zalewski. Should have done so much better, had time and space in the box and should have measured that one. Completely struck through it with power and pace, but no accuracy whatsoever. And it goes sailing over the bar for a goal kick. Should do so much better there, Zalewski. And he knows right away. Hands on his head in disappointment with his own end product there. Knows how good a chance that could have been. Pence. But a good response from Poland. One or two threatening moves. That's a lovely ball over the top. Limer to make the run. Sleesh trying to track him. Limer. Back it comes, Sivold. Grilic. Now Mwena. Out to Sabitzer. Back to Mwena. So confident on the ball, Austria. Given time and space in the wide areas to just hold the ball, to pass the ball about and with freedom. So when they get through the centre is where Poland try and press them. That seems to be the idea for the Polish side so far, but it's from the wide areas where Austria have got their goal. A cross delivered in by Mwena and headed on and in by Gernot Trauner. They're caught in two minds at the moment, Poland, really. Do they want to go wide and test them and possibly risk leaving space in the middle where Austria could again get an overload, or do they stay compact and try and see them out wide? At the moment, caught in between two minds at the moment, this Polish side. Here it comes wide again to Mwena. Sabitzer. Back to Mwena, who will look to cross again. This one with more height, more whip on that one, and trying to put a stray leg in was Stefan Posch there, and committed the foul in the box on Zalewski, so free kick to Poland. Well, the response game in this group, Netherlands take on France a bit later on this evening. You'll have live commentary of that one here on LFS. You'll not want to miss that. Classic of a game, that. Between the Netherlands and France, two top quality sides facing off in Group D. We witnessed a classic last night between Spain and Italy. Those two sides, two classic powerhouses of European football. And France and the Netherlands, both winners of this competition previously. Ball over the top, and Szczesny came for it, did get a touch to it and got it clear. That was dangerous. The ball in behind, over the top of the defence, and couldn't see who the runner was there. Might have been Limer. Have to see there. Oh, it's Baumgartner actually. Sorry, made the run through the middle, and Szczesny did well to commit himself and well anticipated. Could have went very wrong, but he got it just right there. The Polish keeper Szczesny. It's all about measuring those moments right and getting them right, not making the mistake there. But the keeper got it completely correct. Had to come and had to help his side try and clear their lines. Again, even more of a threat for Austria. You talk about how they're threatening from the wide areas, and they've got a real kind of strong centre forward in Marko Arnautovic who can hold off defenders, who can use his physicality to his advantage. But they've also got that pacey player in Baumgartner who can make those runs in behind. So they've got a multitude of threats at the moment, Austria, from different areas of the pitch. Maybe that's why Poland are in a bit of two minds as to whether they stay compact, close down the central area to try and stop the balls into the likes of Baumgartner and Arnautovic, or do they go wide and try and see them out in those wide areas because they've got threatening crossers of the ball. Arnautovic squeezes in between the space. The ball comes back through Arnautovic. Big save by Szczesny. The flag was up anyway. It's Baumgartner there linking up with Arnautovic, but Szczesny again making the big save. The flag was up in any case, but Arnautovic broke down the left in between the lines, finding Baumgartner, and his ball back it comes into the path of Arnautovic, struck with the right foot, save with the left or the right foot or right leg of Szczesny, but he was offside anyway. Arnautovic on the return ball. Well, one back there by Stefan Posch, but he given away cheaply. Poor pass across the midfield, and now Poland can try and counter. Down the right, Frankowski. Down the right flank. Cross comes in. Diving header to clear it. The follow-up is blocked, and that was Zielinski that had that effort. It was an unforced error there from Austria initially. Just a pass across the midfield straight to a Polish player, and they got them on the counter, but good opportunity on the counter attack. As Robert Lewandowski might not be impacting on the pitch, he's trying to do a bit of coaching on the sidelines, having a chat and a word in the ear of one of the assistant coaches. It's interesting. Taking up an analyst's role there on the sidelines is Robert Lewandowski. Certainly can analyse a game when he's on the pitch. Maybe better so when he's off it. Who knows? Pence to Troner. Ball popped forward. Limer to make the run down the line, but Troner's ball just out of the confines of the pitch there and runs out for a Polish throw. It's done a deep conversation, those Polish coaches on the sidelines. Must be interested as to what Robert Lewandowski has said. Whispered in the ear of one of their coaches. Might be something that could work. That would be a masterstroke if it did. That would be some story if it was the case. 25 minutes gone in Berlin. Poland 0, Austria 1. Gernot Troner's goal the difference. Szczesny's had one or two moments in the game where he's had to put his body on the line. Poland struggling when they do get on the ball, struggling to keep the ball and struggling to get themselves forward. It's counter-attacks where they look most threatening in the moments so far. Grilic there, trying to play it forward. Just nicked the ball away from Petrovski. He couldn't find a teammate. As Poland have it at the back with their defenders again. Bednarek. This comes all the way back to Szczesny. Bednarek playing in between the lines. It looked a bit nervy, but Frankowski played it out well and he tried to break forward, trying to make the pass, but could only find Troner in Austrian colours. Few misplaced passes. That's given away by Grilic this time. Frankowski will get it back, switch it out to the left. Zalewski was the target. Posh, the man to hook it away for the throw-in. As Poland take that throw-in. Around the corner from Zielinski. Now a chance for the cross to come in. Edge of the box. Zielinski will have a chance. And has the shot blocked by Leinhardt. Back again it comes. Frankowski trying to feed it in behind, but Sabitzer to hook it away. Better from Poland. Slisz threads it through Novlik. And then the second one couldn't find its way through there from Petrowski. Piszczek not happy that the foul was given against him there in the box, so free kick will go the way of Austria. Yeah, the referee just felt that he fouled Philipp Leinhardt there. Krzysztof Piszczek wholeheartedly disagreeing with the referee's opinion, but it's the referee's opinion that matters most. But it's better from Poland. They've one or two moments where they've tried to take advantage of those Austrian mistakes and almost find a good opportunity to find the net, or at least to get a shot on target. And with the amount of possession they've had, they would take that at the moment, but they need to have a bit more possession. They need to get up the pitch a bit more, be a bit more dominant on the ball, commanding on the ball, confident in their passing. Much sharper passing needed from both teams, that is. Just a few wayward passes letting each team down at the moment, as Winner down the line, targeting Sabitzer, headed infield there by Bednarek, and kicked back to Szczesny, who will look to find the right wing, the right flank anyway. Does well to find Frankowski, but the foul will go Poland's way there. Petrowski fouled, and Limer the one deemed to have committed that foul. Gets a wry smile from Konrad Laimer, the Bayern Munich man, as here comes Frankowski. Well defended at the near post there by Lienhart. Good break down the right hand side by Poland again. Nice ball down the line. This time it was Zielinski that played it on. Frankowski making the overlapping run, looking to chop it across, and Lienhart got there ahead of everyone else and put it behind for the Polish corner, which Zielinski will take. Whips it in, headed away by Arnautovic. Captain's a captain. So Arnautovic not particularly comfortable after he got that header. Zielinski will deliver again, deep to the back post. First header won by Austria, but second chance, and off the line, blocked, goal! Poacher finish from Pieszczek. 1-1. Poland persist and attack and don't give up in their efforts. They whip it in again. They get the second phase. Austria fail to clear their lines. And a Pieszczek finish. Well past Pence. Not dealt with by Lienhart initially. Got the block, but the rebound found the path of Pieszczek. And he didn't make a mistake in the second one. And Poland have found their way back into the game in the last few moments and have got themselves back on level terms. Poland won. Austria won. Certainly game on in Berlin. Yeah, a bit of a scramble. It was Trona that got the block off Bednarek's shot, and then it falls to Pieszczek, who just throws a right leg at it, gets it past Pence, and it's back to 1-1. We're back to square one. But Poland's back in the game. And Pieszczek, the man who gets the celebrations for Polska. And this game isn't going to be a one-way affair. It's going to be both sides attacking to the very death, battling for the points here in Berlin. Poland won, Austria won. And maybe, just maybe, we have a goal fest on our hands here. Don't want to say it too quickly. Don't want to jinx it, but never know. Could have. And that was Pieszczek's 12th international goal. Istanbul Başakşehir man. 30th appearance this afternoon and his 12th international goal for Poland. Nothing to the effect of Robert Lewandowski, who scored 82 international goals, but certainly not bad. In the double figures at least. As the referee did get a bit of contact on that one, but doesn't affect Austria's possession. Sabitzer, Muena down the left-hand side, looking to chop back. Muena looking for a bit of a space for a cross, and the cross comes in, but too high over the head of Stefan Posch, and that will roll all the way behind for a goal kick. David Alaba, who gives support to Austria in the game against France. He's injured for this tournament, not going to be involved, but he stayed with the team, stayed with the squad, and is showing his support. David Alaba, and looks a bit more nervous than he probably initially did about 20 minutes ago. It's going to be a tight game. Which way it will go is anybody's guess. Two sides finally balanced, well matched in terms of quality and talent in the sides, and it's all about who performs in the end, who performs on the day, who gets the points, who gets that crucial moment that could deliver 3 points for them. And with so much of the game to go, no one's thinking about a winning goal. They're just thinking about the next goal. The Polish fans certainly the happier at the moment as they've just levelled. As Sabitzer though to deliver here for Austria. Back post, and Lienhart was a crunching ball across, but no one there to get anywhere near it. It was some pace to see it away. It will be a Polish free throw in down the left hand side. It went that far wide from Lienhart. He was stretching. But the momentum is swung in Poland's favour slightly here at the moment. The fans are up, the crowd are up, the team are up. And that's the difference a goal can make in a game. Austria, who dominated the early moments, they started the much better of the two teams, were threatening for more than just the one early goal. But Poland hang in there, only concede the one and get themselves back into the game with a really nicely taken goal by Piszczek. But that's how quickly a game can change. You can be dominant, in control, and have a lead snatched away from you. At this level, you have to be at your highest level of concentration and defensively solid for a full 90 minutes plus. Otherwise you will be punished. That'll be a free kick to Austria there. Baumgartner fouled in his own half there by Schleich. 10 minutes of the first half to go. Here's Baumgartner. Switch ball out to Philip Mwene. Back to Leinhardt. To Troner. Mwene. Underhit that one, but will be seen out there by Frankowski. Will be a throw into Austria. Take the throw in. Mwene. Cross. Again, a misplaced pass there by Leinhardt, and Poland can break away. Try and left that ball in behind, but too narrow that one, and simple enough for Pence to hook up the pitch. Some distance on that one. They tried to play in possession there, Poland, and picking up the ball from the Pence clearance, but they put it out of play for a throw. Couple of misplaced efforts. It's good pressure from Austria. They're pressing well here against Poland, forcing them into those little errors, those little mistakes, having to put the ball out of play, breaking up the play, keeping the ball in this area of the pitch. They tried to play around themselves there, Austria, and played out of possession, as Buxa was in a position to try and break there. That was a risky ball across, and Frankowski gets clattered out here by Mwene, and it will be a free kick to Austria though. Yeah, slightly high that from Frankowski, but he came off the worst of the two in that challenge. And they win that free kick, Austria now. Just saw the replay of that opening goal from Austria. And David Alaba enjoyed that one. And then the repeat, the response up the other end, the cross initially in, the second phase, get it across the box. The shot from Bednarek blocked by Troner. It bounces back out to Piszczek. Got a yard and sunk it into the empty net for 1-1. But that happens. That can happen for Austria. They have been good in this first half. They've been well battled by Poland in moments. That was where Poland took their chance, took their opportunity. Austria have looked a bit wobbly since then. Haven't been as crisp and clean as they once were in this first half, and that's allowing Poland to get a bit of foothold in the game. That's a comfortable challenge, a strong one by Troner on Buxa. Now it's a 3-on-2 here for Austria. Baumgartner now finds Sabitzer, chops in field. Sabitzer's shot blocked by a couple of bodies, and they couldn't make that advantage count in the end. Austria should have done so much better from that position. 3-on-2 on the counter, and They allow, with that touch from Sabitzer, they allow the defenders to get back into space, back to cover the spaces and deny him a clear shot at goal. But it was well worked. It all came from the crunching challenge by Trauner on Buxa. Fair one, the referee claimed, and didn't give a foul and allowed Austria to get the overload and break forward quickly. Baumgartner in between the lines, in between Arnautovic and Sabitzer, which doesn't help as Poland try and clear it away. It'll find its way back to Mwena down the left. Back to Sivold. Grilic back to Lienhardt. Mwena just overstepping his mark there, losing the ball. And Poland winning the throw-in off Sabitzer there, Frankowski. Just seeing the challenge by Trauner on Buxa. It's a fair challenge. And then the 3-on-2. Sabitzer might have been offside actually. Had Arnautovic with him there, Baumgartner as well, so had another option the opposite direction, but decided to feed in Sabitzer. Ultimately, and they couldn't claim the finish on that one. 5 minutes of the first half remaining, and it's level in Berlin, the German capital. Setting up a tight affair at the moment, but not a cagey affair, as Poland have to react to a quickly taken Austria free kick there, and good covering by Kivior there, and had to clear it behind and out for the throw-in on the right hand side. Oh, some Santas there in the crowd, the Austrian fans. A bit early for that, isn't it? Stefan Posch to take this throw-in. Back to Lienhardt with a cross, cleared away. And the ball from Lienhardt there, the rebound. Well out of play for a Poland throw. Misplaced passes, just breaking up the sequences of this game. Just not particularly keeping us on a continuous momentum, sorry. Breaking up the game a slight bit. Here's Grilic. Posch. Back to Sivold. Sabitzer! Shot just wide of the left post. Wonderful strike by Sabitzer. Certainly a power-filled one, that. Received the ball across the midfield on his right foot, steps in field, takes it with his right. And a driving effort. Was just always going wide, didn't need any sort of touch from Szczesny, and didn't come anyway. But it certainly was an effort to get us all looking. Certainly had us watching on there closely. Grilic, nice interception. Finding Baumgartner, breaking past one challenge and another. Couldn't get past the third. As well closed down there by Bednarek. 1-2 down the line, and Zelensky will win a throw-in off Mwena there for Poland. I think the best we've seen Baumgartner in this first half is when he is making those runs in behind, those getting his body and using his pace to break forward, to really scare that Polish defence. Got the physical presence of Arnautovic to hold the ball up and try and find him. Try and link it all up, as Pence had to get rid at some distance there, and goes out for the Polish throw inside the Austrian half. Kivior. Back it comes to Jan Bednarek. Again failed to Slish. Again his pass intercepted. Sivold does well. Nice Sabitzer will pick up. Deep. Plays it out to Grilic on the left flank. Tries to step back infield. Grilic almost taken out there. Has Muena making the run ahead of him and tried to feed it through for Sabitzer on the inside channel, but well covered off. As Arnautovic tries to nick it away from Petrovsky there. As Kivior clears away. Zalewski back to Kivior. Back out wide down the left. Better from Buxa there to hold it up. As it comes all the way back again to Szczesny, who will again fire long. Paycheck was trying to get involved. He does. Gets the bounce right. Lays it up to Frankowski. And now trying to find a break forward here. Zielinski. Plays it infield to Schleich. Trying to edge his way through. Closed down. The referee is going to pull it back for a free kick here. Initially he gave nothing, the Turkish referee, but had his little think and he will pull it back for the Polish free kick here. Schleich, the one that went down. Bartosz Schleich. See it again. Receives the ball, takes it forward. That's a dive. Oh, it's actually across. Oh yeah, his hand just clips him. I was looking at the legs there. There's no connection from the legs. Maybe a slight swiping hand. Stevan Posch there, just involved. I do apologise to Schleich there. He didn't dive. It was a genuine kind of foul. So free kick of 1 added minute at the end of the half. So not much left in this first period for there to be a goal scoring opportunity for either side to take the lead going into the half. At the moment, Poland's free kick might be the last action of the half. 2 over it. Zalewski's one of them. Shot comes in. The shot! Big save needed from Pence there. Parries it wide for the corner. Really good effort. Really good save. And it was Zielinski that took the shot. Right-footed. Curves it round the wall. Almost curling in the inside right post. But a strong left hand from Pence. Carries it wide for the corner, which Zielinski will deliver. Up in the air it goes, and claiming for it there was Pence, who gathered well. And there's the half-time whistle. So a big save from Patrick Pence to end the half. Poland arguably ending the better of the two teams after Austria come out like a house on fire in the first 15-20 minutes. They blasted into a lead from a Troner header from a nice delivery by Muena. The equaliser from Paycheck, who was a poacher in the box, got the finish on the rebound. And a big save from Pence just before half-time denied Poland a possible lead at the break. Half-time in Berlin. It is Poland 1, Austria 1. Analysis on the way next. Nice ball in behind for Saka. Saka looking for the cross, headed on and in. What a header by Jude Bellingham. That's a lovely bit of work. And Bellingham with a booted header. No keeper stopping that one. And that is England taking the lead with practically their first chance of the game. Welcome back to Euro 2024 Live. Half time in Group D between Poland and Austria. It is 1-1 at the break. And I'd say that's ultimately a pretty fair scoreline at the break in Berlin. I wouldn't say either side have probably deserved the lead at half time. I think Austria started the half the better, Poland ended the half the better, and they've shared a goal apiece, which seems to be a pretty fair result after 45 minutes of that first half. And ultimately, neither side can really argue with the goal they've conceded, let's be honest, because Austria started really well. They were off to a pretty energetic start. They dominated the early moments. They were threatening early on, and they were looking a real promising, sharp, kind of confident, buoyed side. Despite losing on the first game, they came out with, as I said, like a house on fire, like really energised and really strong, and they come out really well in the first half. Started excellently well, threatening early on, having a few early chances, some one or two moments for Szczesny to really get involved, the Polish keeper. But the goal, inside 10 minutes, it's ultimately, the corner comes in from when Trauner ultimately tries to, from the long throw-in, not a corner, from the long throw-in, Mwena throws it in. Trauner tries to attack it at the front post. It's cleared away. It comes right back out to Mwena again. Takes it down. Takes it round his man at the byline. Chops it across. Really nice ball across. Up into the air. And Gernot Trauner makes no mistake about the second one. And heads it nicely into the top corner. Too high for Szczesny to reach. Which is exactly the type of header you want to have, and certainly the perfect end to a very good move by Austria. And that was exactly how they'd started the game. They were controlled, very strong in possession. They looked really comfortable in their passing, so they weren't just threatening from the wide areas. They were threatening through the middle with the likes of Baumgartner and Arnautovic coming short in midfield and breaking through. Baumgartner had a run in behind as well in the moments. And as I said, in that first half, they were caught in between two minds, Poland, whether they wanted to stay compact and close down the spaces in the central areas and allow Poland or Austria to have that possession wide, or do they push out a bit more and try and cover both spaces and risk leaving the space in between, because threats for Austria on both occasions and in both areas, which made it difficult for Poland to kind of balance that. But the midfield of Poland got into the game. They had a poor start. I think Zielinski, Śleisz and Petrowski really struggled to get on the ball in those early moments, really struggled to impose themselves on the game and make an impact initially to get Poland on the front foot, or even to keep the ball for long spells. They struggled to keep the possession. They were giving the ball away time and time again to Austria, and that just kind of fueled the fire for Austria in that first 20 minutes. But it kind of fizzled out after a while. They had one half chance up the other end, Poland, on the counter-attack, which was a bit of a shock. Was a shock to the system for Austria. They kind of got taken aback by it, and I think that kind of not frightened them, but it kind of gave them a bit of a warning sign of like, whoa, yes, we're threatening, yes, we're looking dominant, yes, we're controlling this game, but Poland have a big threat up the other end, and they can cause us problems. And who knows? I said Robert Lewandowski might have said something, and maybe whispering in the ear of the coaches, and they actually do well. The first time they really sustained pressure, Poland, in the game, they found their footing a bit. They started to grow into it, and on their best spell of the game, and the best spell of possession and pressure that they created in that first half, they scored. Good pressure down the right-hand side, Frankowski. All dealt with easily well by Austria. The wide areas was where they were keeping the most pressure at Poland. But we see the deep early cross into the box, and Piszczek was initially threatening in the central areas, dealt with initially. Austria then don't get it clear. They allow the second ball, they allow the second phase to play on. Bednarek has a shot blocked by Trauner. They do not get it cleared again, and the poachers finish, as I said, from Piszczek. Got there, took the ball down, side-footed it nicely into the net. 1-1. That is exactly what they needed to do. Sustain the pressure, win the second balls, keep the pressure on Austria. They failed to do that early in the game. They conceded from a moment where they should have defended better themselves, but that's why I go back to my first point. Neither side can really complain of conceding in that first half. Poor from Poland, the fact that they had the warning sign from Trauner initially, from the long throw. They failed to deal with it. They failed to mark him. They failed to stop him. They failed to stop him when they have another chance to deliver the ball. They're punished. The exact same at the other end for Austria. They fail to clear their lines. They fail to get it away from the danger zone. And they don't deal with the pressure. They allow the second phase of the cross to come in. And they don't deal with the position. They get the rebound. And Poland get their equaliser. So both sides will be disappointed with their bits of defending for the goals. But on the positives, they'll both know they can threaten the opposite defences. And that will keep them with a lot of positivity, a lot of attacking intent in that second half. And I think we will see a lot more attacking threat from the two sides. They maybe figured each other out in a sense in that first half. Maybe they'll try and switch it up, both teams, second half, and it could be a bit more of a battle, a bit more of a chess match in the second period. But ultimately, it couldn't. Also, it might not be. It might be in the second half a real goal fest. It could turn out to be one of those ones where both sides are getting the better and the attackers are getting the better of it. At the moment, decent moments in the game for both attacks. Nothing over untoward or other than the two goals, but I'd say there's still at least another goal or two in this, I would say, and on the balance of things from that first half, it could go either way. And that's what makes it intriguing for the second period, that either of these two teams could win it, because they both need it. Both need points, both need, ideally, 3 points. A draw for these two only helps the Netherlands or France a bit later on, because if this ends in a draw, Netherlands and France, whoever wins that game a bit later on, will qualify for the knockouts. I mean, if they draw their game a bit later, and this is a draw, it will do even better for both teams, France and the Netherlands, because they will both have a 3-point gap going into the final game. Meaning if they avoid defeat, they'll both be comfortably into the knockouts, which seems to be maybe the way it's going. Although, you never know. Anything can still happen. Half-time then in Berlin. Poland 1, Austria 1. Let's just run you through the stats from that first half, actually, before we go to the break, before the second half gets underway. In terms of possession, ultimately, Austria had more of the possession in that first half, 59% to Poland's 41%. In terms of shots, Poland had the more shots in the first half, 8 to Austria's 6, but Austria more shots on target, 3 to Poland's 2, so both sides edging slightly different things there. Both have had one big chance, and they've scored their big chance, both of them, in that first half. Touches in the penalty area, 10 for Poland, 11 for Austria, so not much difference there. But ultimately, on the balance of play in terms of passing, the majority of the passes have come either in the middle third or in the Poland's defensive third in that first half. Only 23% of the possession was in Austria's defensive third in that first half. So still, Austria probably having the better of the territory. Poland, when they do get forward with that slightly minimal possession, they are threatening from it, and they are efficient with it. In terms of crosses, Poland more successful on their crosses, although they've hit less of them. Austria gone for more crosses. 2 of their 12 crosses have been successful, one of those ending in a goal, of course. So only 17% of their crosses accurate in that first half. Austria, 43% for Poland. Poland, 3 of their 7 crosses have been accurate, and both goals ultimately come from crosses in the end, ultimately, that started off their attacking moves. Right, that is the first half complete. The second half from Berlin in the Olympiastadion is on the way next. Do stay with us. Nice ball in behind for Saka. Saka looking for the cross, headed on and in. What a header by Jude Bellingham. That's a lovely bit of work. And Bellingham with a booted header. No keeper stopping that one. And that is England taking the lead with practically their first chance of the game. Welcome back. Second half on the way from Berlin in a moment between Poland and Austria. Don't forget the other Group D game later this evening between the Netherlands and France. You can watch that one live here on LFS tonight. 8 o'clock will be kick-off from in that one. That's going to be a real exciting game a bit later on from Leipzig. The Red Bull Arena will be the venue for that cracking game between the Netherlands and France. And as it stands, the winner of which would be qualified for the knockouts. Although that's still another half away from being confirmed. They need a draw in this one for that to be the case. And it looks like both sides are going to make a change at half-time. One for Poland and one for Austria, it seems. So let's just see. Well, Robert Lewandowski was out warming up at half-time. He's not going to come on just yet, but will be a enticing presence that could give us Poland that slight edge they might need in the second half if they're going to want to come back into this one and maybe win this. It's going to be Jakub Moder that's going to be coming on here for Poland in a moment. We'll see the replacement in a second. And Wimmer has come on for Austria. Max Wimmer, not Max Wimmer, Max Weber that was. It will be Patrick Wimmer who's come on, it seems, for Austria. Petrovski is the one that's made way for Poland. So Jakub Moder is coming on for him. And Grilic is the one that's made way. Florian Grilic has made way for Patrick Wimmer for Austria. So one change apiece at the break. And what will those changes do to the performances of their respective teams? Midfielding changes, both wanting maybe more control in the game, both managers. See if those changes can deliver that. Still waiting on the referee getting us back on the way here. There we are. Back away again we go in Berlin. Second 45. Poland 1, Austria 1, and the game very much in the balance. And anybody's guess as to who might get the 3 points here, if either of the two of them end up getting anything in terms of 3 points. But Poland probably ended the half the better of the two, despite the level score. We'll see if that carries on into the second half. That'll be an interesting dynamic to keep an eye on. So try and play it down the left-hand side quickly. Zalewski closed down well out there by Posh. And Sivold. Posh to Sivold, who will clear up the pitch. Ball flicked on nicely by Arnautovic, and Limer to send Sabitzer on the chase down the left-hand side. That's a good start. Sabitzer looking for the cross in. Overhit that one. Marcel Sabitzer, and Baumgartner won't be able to catch it in time before it goes out. And he does apologise for the overhit pass, but a decent effort there from Austria on the forward line. Probably should have restated a bit of composure there, Sabitzer, before he pinged that one across. Poland getting the throw in as Lienhardt puts that one out. Will be another throw into Poland, a bit further up the pitch this time, on the left hand side. But Robert Lewandowski will be Poland's big posing threat in the second half. He's the rocket launcher in their armoury, shall we say, for Poland. And let's see if he can rocket one in, if he does make an appearance a bit later on. We are not sure if he will make an appearance. We're anticipating that, but there's no certainty that it will happen. But I'm sure if he can even play just 5 minutes, they will want to get him out there, because it only takes 1 second to score that crucial goal that could be the difference at that point. Who knows? Austria here on the ball. Wimmer, who's came on at half time, out to Posch. Back to Sewald. Trauner. Out to Posch. Seen how to play there. Down the left hand side by Zalewski. He is warming up on the sidelines, Lewandowski. He's fueling that anticipation. Posch with a throw in. Arnautovic to gather on the right flank. Against 2 there, but he did find a way out. Nice link up with Wimmer. Posch. Now Limer. Back to Muena. Who, interestingly, Philip Muena has actually come a bit further infield there, I spotted. Was much more central, much more inside than he was in the first half. He was very wide, very kind of overlapping on multiple occasions. It looks like Sabitzer is taking up that role. As here's Marcel Sabitzer. Back to Limer. Squared across. Posch on the edge of the box. Will hit one. Easily blocked there. And out by Motor for a throw in on the right hand side. Stefan Posch to take this throw in then for Austria. Laid off to Arnautovic. Limer back to Posch, who lost the ball there and will also give away the throw in the process. One well down that left hand side by the Polish substitute. As Wimmer does well as Poland try and play it down the line. Wimmer intercepting. Now the ball's firing its way to Sabitzer. Lifts it over the top. Arnautovic the target. Hooked away there by Davidovic. Here's Muena. Limer. Try and break forward. Lays it off to Posch. Round the corner finds Wimmer. Wimmer on the right. Looks to take his man on. Wimmer will look to try and get the cross in. Blocked that time by Jakub Kiwior. Will be a Austria corner. Decent defending by the Arsenal man, Jakub Kiwior. Tracked Wimmer all the way. It was a strong clearance that time by Pavel Davidovic, who hooked that one over his head and cleared. Wimmer to take the corner. Headed on and in. Headed on target by Posch. I was about to say headed in, but well gathered by Szczesny. It looked to be a real good connection by Posh. Strong header, but Szczesny watched it all the way. Made the decent save. Very entertaining game so far. As probably all the games have been. There's been very few where we haven't been engulfed with proper talent. Here's the shot from distance. It was Frankowski down the right hand side, and Piaczek just got it at the edge of the box and he took the strike from distance, but over the bar it went. And Austria try and play out there, Austria, but given away by Muena. As Jakob Motter's ball over the top had too much on it, and it goes behind for another Austria goal kick. Well, they met each other at qualifying for the last Euros at Euro 2020, these two. Group G, they played out two tight fixtures that featured just one goal across the two games in that qualifying campaign. Poland's Krzysztof Piaczek was the only scorer. 69th minute at Vienna's Ersthappel Stadium on March 2019. The return leg ended scoreless between the two in Warsaw. There's going to be a yellow card here. Hands it out to Bartosz Ślisz for a pull back in the middle. Yeah, Baumgartner just pulled back there by Ślisz, and it's definitely a free kick, and it's one of those ones that's definitely a yellow card. That's the threat that Baumgartner can get to you on the half turn and get on his bike, really charge forward, lead the attack. Referee there just checking out a few players just before the free kick gets fizzed in. Sabitzer overhit that one completely. That was a really bad end to that moment. Sabitzer frustrated with himself. Poland in that qualifying campaign for Euro 2020 finished on 25 points at the top of Group G. They finished 6 points ahead of Austria, who finished second in that group, and they both qualified for the finals. Here's Sabitzer! Shot blocked again. Davidovic in the way. Throw in ticking quickly. Muena. Sabitzer. Back to Philip Muena. All the way back it comes to Lienhart. Now Trauner. Out to the right hand side for Stefan Posch. Breaking in the midfield there, Posch. Kept the possession. Fed it to Leimer. Might be a bit deeper in the second half, Konrad Leimer. It feels. Muena. Back to Leimer. Muena. Austria looking for the right moment. Back to Leimer. Bodies in and around the box. Sabitzer comes and shows for the ball. Picks it up on the left hand side of the box. Lifts one in. Sabitzer. Baumgartner was closest, headed away. And then the collision there. Poland will get the free kick, but the referee's going to play advantage because Poland have it. The ball here. Zalewski on the counter attack. Zalewski breaking down the left and completely thwarted. Really poor challenge by Patrick Wimmer, and that gets him a yellow card. No arguments there from the Austrian. Comes tracking back against Zalewski, and it's a really late challenge. Yeah, not a good challenge at all there from Patrick Wimmer. And that gets Poland up the pitch, and that's probably exactly what they needed out of that situation. Austria were probably comfortable at getting bodies back. So, counter-attack leads to a free kick. Zielinski with a delivery in there, and had to be hooked away by Arnautovic. The Gitsub, it's on the attack now. Wimmer trying to go in for the challenge again there. Try and win it back, and had to be careful. I thought just getting that yellow card, he has to watch himself. Can't be teasing the referee too much. Levski trying to play it into the path of Motor there, and he will win the free kick as he's taken out. And look who's getting ready. Robert Lewandowski. Yeah, just stepped across there, did Troner on Motor. And there's a foul, free kick. And Lewandowski on to try and change this game and try and lead his side to what would be a very good result. It would be a win they need, and he wants to come on and make that impact to try and deliver that. Their star man of Poland, Robert Lewandowski, 82 goals for Poland. Goes without saying, one of the best strikers in world football. And if Poland want anyone to come off the bench to try and help them get a goal, he would be your man all day long. Troner there was receiving treatment while we did have the stoppage in play, and he's back up to his feet. And the roar can be felt from those fans. Dancer's going to come on as well for Austria in the moment. And he's going to come on for Troner here. Troner's not going to continue, so he went down, received treatment, and I think they've made the diagnosis that he cannot continue. So the Austrian goal scorer is going to be replaced, and Kevin Danso is going to be the replacement. So Danso on, Troner off, and the double substitution incoming here for Poland. One of them will be Lewandowski, the other Karol Swiderski. So Bux is going to make way. Scored Poland's goal against the Netherlands on match day 1. Hasn't added to his tally here this afternoon, but is going to make way for one of the most potent and threatening strikers in world football, Robert Lewandowski. And the second substitution is going to be Karol Swiderski coming on and replacing the Polish goal scorer, Krzysztof Pieczek. So both scorers off the pitch, Pieczek and Troner. And on comes one of the best at it, Robert Lewandowski. Wow. Let's see what he can deliver. Although Zielinski's going to have his say first. He has a free kick here. Standing over it, Zielinski hits the wall. Bashed into the ball and easily cleared. But Poland come right back that way. They on the attack here. Can they squeeze it out? Cross comes in. Had to be headed behind there by Posh. Robert Lewandowski was lurking. He gets the captain's armband now. After Zielinski took that free kick, he's gifted the captain's armband to Lewandowski. 30 minutes to go. First set piece for Robert Lewandowski to be on the end of, maybe. Corner for Poland. Right hand side. Cross comes in the header from Davidovic. Goes over the bar. Referee's going to want Austria to retake this goal kick, I think. I think he was claiming that one of the Polish players was in the 18-yard box, which isn't allowed from a goal kick anymore. The opposition players cannot be in the confines of the 18-yard box when a goal kick is being taken. That is the rule, of course. Not spotted by the referee. Not dealt with. Austria with a throw in down the left. Ball popped forward, but no one there anywhere near it. Easily recovered by Davidovic. Sleish now on the turn. Given away in midfield by to Seavold. And Limer does well, tiptoeing around it. And the foul on Baumgartner there will give Austria the free kick, and a yellow card will be brandished to Jakob Moder. The Polish substitute in the book, yeah. Skips across him, steps on his toe there, or steps on his foot really harshly. And that is not a good challenge by Jakob Moder. And gets him in the referee's book here. As Austria are going to make a change of their own here in a moment. And it's going to be... We'll wait and see. So Mwena's going to come off. I know that much. And it's going to be Alexander Prass that's going to come on. So Prass on. And replacing Philip Mwena. So an extra body up front. Or an extra body forward. Prass there. Also capable of getting up the pitch and offering an extra body. Wimmer and Sabitzer over this free kick for Austria. Long distance out, about 33 yards, 35. Wimmer to deliver. Back post, Arnautovic squared across. Still alive off the line, cleared. Wow, although the flag was up anyway. I think it was Arnautovic that was offside that played the first ball. That was a really good attempt. He's miles offside there. Acres offside there, Marko Arnautovic. I thought he was going to get away with that. I do not know, but that was definitely offside. No questions about that one. I have to say, Austria have been quite disappointing from set pieces. Certainly free kicks in the game. We've had ample free kick opportunities to deliver, and the deliveries have been really poor all day. There's a foul here, and it's a free kick given away by Robert Lewandowski, and he's going to get a yellow card here. So Lewandowski, who claiming that it was a fair challenge with Lienhardt, but it's one of those ones where he uses his arm to get leverage up, but his arm inadvertently ends up into the face of the Austrian defender. So the referee's sided with the defender on this occasion, and he's going to have a chat with Lewandowski on that occasion to just explain his decision and why he's got a yellow card. And that is a yellow card there. Just seen a shot of Trauner there, who has something in a patch on his leg, so that could be a slight worry for Austria for their upcoming games, but it's been a strong defender for them. Gernot Trauner. Robert Lewandowski there, winning the free kick that time against Konrad Limer. Former teammates, of course, at Bayern Munich. Lewandowski getting the better of his former teammate there. Bednarek to take this free kick. 25 minutes to go. 1-1 here in Berlin on a knife edge. And anybody's game to win this one. It seems like I keep saying that all the time, but it's true. We've had so many close games that it is anybody's game, and it means so much for these teams. That, especially this game, for these two, both need 3 points. Both can't get 3 points, but both need 3 points. And that's why it's so close. That's why it's so tense, and kind of both sides are going for it. They have to. They've no choice. A point is leaving you in a dangerous position heading into match day 3, because it means you'd have to get a win against one of either Netherlands or France, depending on which team you are in this fixture. That's a nice ball into the path. This shot, the goal. That's lovely from Baumgartner. 2-1 Austria. And Poland bring their star man on to try and get them a winning goal. But it's Krzysztof Baumgartner who's broke free and into a bit of space on the edge of the box and strikes wonderfully past Szczesny to give Austria the lead for the second time in the game. And Lewandowski can only walk away in disbelief because he hasn't had a chance so far since coming on about 5 minutes ago. And that's really good work. Spread wide from Seval, down the left from Alexander Prass. Squares it across, threads it wonderfully through to Baumgartner. Arnautovic sleeves it. Baumgartner gets on the end of it, sees his target, and just side foots it through the legs of the defender, wrong footing Szczesny, and giving Austria the lead once again. Austria with the lead with a quarter of the game to go. And it's Krzysztof Baumgartner who's got the goal. 2-1. Ralf Rangnick's side back in front and on the verge. And what it means to him. Krzysztof Baumgartner punching like King Kong on his international team's badge. That's what it means. Not King Kong, Tarzan. But I just got that in my head. But that is what it means to these players. It is everything. Their hearts are on their sleeves. That is what it means. And that is a huge goal for Austria. Can Poland respond again? Danso on the cover there against Siderski, but goes out for the throw-in. Taken quickly. All the way back with Kivior. Davidovic. To Zalewski. Zielinski. Through the lines. Nice play. Kivior across. Lewandowski lays it off. The shot. Big save. And Siderski was the one that had the shot. Big save by Pence. Both sides starting to find their shooting boots and threaten either goalkeeper. Nicely taken down there on the right hand side by Frankowski. And a bit of a shove there by Arnautovic. And he's going to get a yellow card. He lost a bit of cool there. The Austrian captain. Yeah. A bit of a push on Schleich. And it is a foul. No doubts. And the yellow card for the follow-up frustration shown there by Arnautovic. So both centre forwards, both captains, on a yellow card for their respective teams, Arnautovic and Lewandowski, which could make it a tasty affair later on. Could make it interesting. If they do lose their cool. I don't think they will now, but Baumgartner trying to play it down the line. Has to come back with Davidovic, back to Szczesny. The next goal is major. An equaliser for Poland would reignite their hopes of trying to win this game, but a third for Austria would surely give them headroom and belief that they could see it out. We haven't seen, since match day one, a team see out more than a one-goal victory, other than Germany against Hungary. Everyone else has been tightly contested, closely fought, majority of them draws. But when they have been wins, only one of them hasn't been by a one-goal margin, so I wouldn't get too interested by Austria just yet, leading this game with 20 to go. More than enough time for Poland to get an equaliser and put the cat amongst the pigeons and make for a grandstand finish. Well, this is just a warm-up for our game a bit later on, and what a warm-up so far. Here's Swiderski. Back it comes to Schleich. Out to the right-hand side. Frankowski with a cross. And throwing himself at that one was Lienhardt. And he got some distance on it. Goes out for the throw-in. Direct from his header. But despite being behind, Poland are fighting on and continuing with their push. On the left-hand side, Zalewski. Looking for the cross. Well blocked by Stevan Posch. Goes out for the throw-in. Zalewski again. Back to Zielinski. Now Zalewski looking for the cross again. Blocked by Posch. Back it comes. Kivior. Trying to break through a few challenges. Does well. Zielinski lifts one into the middle, but the cross easily gathered by Patrick Pence, the Austrian keeper. As Pence goes long. Maybe a bit of a push there and behind Baumgartner. And we'll get Austria the free kick. Schleich, the one committing the foul. He's also on a yellow card, so have to be careful. As Poland eyeing up maybe another change here in a moment. It's Kamil Grzycki, Grzycki, who's readying, getting a bit of information before he will enter the fray in a few moments. Pence with a pop ball up down the right hand side. Aerial quality there. As Wimmer tries to battle, but dealt with by Kivior, and he wins his side. A throw in for Poland. And I think Austria were also readying a change there a moment ago. I will keep an eye on that one as that happens. Leimer trying to steal it away in midfield. There's maybe a handball in there. The referee said no. Maybe just a slight deflection inadvertently for Leimer there. So they keep the ball now, Austria, and that's the watch phrase that they need to keep in their heads. Keep the ball and don't give Poland a clear chance. They might create a good chance, but try and stay as solid as you can. Arnautovic. Nice ball fed to Prass off the left. And the man who got the assist for the second goal for Austria, scored by Christoph Baumgartner. Here he is. And he picks up that pocket of space and bursts forward here. Baumgartner again squares it across. Wimmer has one saved. Good save by Szczesny. What a Zimmer from Wimmer. Almost finding the net there for Austria. Should have saved that line if he had scored. But Szczesny down to his right really well. Wimmer, toe-poked effort. Decent save down to his right-hand side there from Szczesny. Make the save, but much better. Picking up the half space there, Baumgartner. Bursting forward, getting his side in a good area, and then squared it across for the on-running Wimmer, who was arriving. Change incoming here for Poland. It's going to be Schleich that's going to come off. And it's going to be Grzycki that's coming on. I do apologise, I can't pronounce that name. Grzycki. Throw in for Austria off the left-hand side here. We press the tick. 15 minutes to go. And Austria not only pushing for a 2-1 win, maybe pushing for a third. Arnautovic holding it up, back to Prass. Now Leimer, edge of the box, trying to feed it through. The shot comes and bounces into the hands of Szczesny. Half decent effort there. That was a committed challenge there by Posch, but unluckily couldn't keep it in. And Zalewski will get the throw in. And Gregorich is ready on the sidelines to make a to come on here for Austria. going to make those changes, Austria, in a moment. Grigorich was one of them. I did see that down there. Oh, that's lovely. Lovely touch by Sabitzer. Round the keeper, taken out there by Szczesny. Penalty. And it's going to be a yellow card for Szczesny. And the Polish keeper has a penalty to now try and save Sabitzer with an unbelievable touch. This is sensational. You got to see this. That is gorgeous. Takes it round the defender. In one-on-one and goal. Tries to go round. Szczesny committed himself to the Polish keeper. Couldn't reach the ball. He leaves a trailing leg there, Sabitzer, and gets it taken. Snatched from underneath him. And that is a penalty indeed for Austria. And that moment could be huge. That is what quality can give you. That's the slight edge it can give you. And this is now a clutch moment needed for Szczesny. He's given away the penalty, but he has to save it now to keep his side within touching distance of an Austrian lead. Captain Arnautovic over this one for Austria. Stepping up. Stares at the ball. Waiting for the right moment. The referee just doing his final checks. Making sure no encroachment. Already seen that in the tournament. Arnautovic slots it in the bottom right corner. Szczesny dives the wrong way. And Captain Arnautovic could be leading Austria to a huge 3 points in the German capital. Group D could be seeing Austria as its third best team. And they're back in the mix indeed. Szczesny couldn't do much about the second one, but give away the penalty that ultimately leads to a third goal for Austria. The next goal was crucial, and it was the Austrian captain to slot into the bottom right corner. Coolly taken by the very experienced Marko Arnautovic to give Austria a 2-goal advantage. And I mean, that was a wonderfully taken effort. And Austria pegged back in the first half, but have come out in the second, fighting back and retaking their lead and extending it even further. Poland's distraught. This could be a devastating moment for them, because even if they do beat France on match day 3, that might not even be enough for them. 4 points is the magic number, and at the moment Austria will be within 1 point of that. They would actually go top of the group, Austria, at the moment. They would have had the most goals scored, and the same goal difference as Netherlands and France, but having scored more goals than both, they would go above them on goals scored, Austria. So that is the way it would stand at the moment, and they're going to make those changes. They hadn't made those, and the changes are going to be made. So Baumgartner, who scored the second, he's going to make way. His goal was wonderful, beautifully found by Alexander Prass and well taken. He had a whole half of a net to find, and he side-footed into the bottom right. Really nice from Christoph Baumgartner. And then captain Marko Arnautovic for the penalty to give them the 3-1 lead. So Baumgartner off, and also on top of that is Arnautovic as well. So the 2 goal scorers that ultimately have Austria ahead are replaced by Grigorich and Schmid. So Romano Schmid and Michael Grigorich replacing both Christoph Baumgartner and Marko Arnautovic. So all 3 of Austria's goal scorers, all 4 goal scorers in the game, are now no longer on the field of play. And with less than 10 minutes to go, it's going to be some rescue job if Poland can claim it back. But the Austrian fans, certainly the louder of the 2 sets here in the Olympiastadion. We said it was a must-win for either one of these two. And it looks like Austria, under Ralf Rangnick, could be claiming that huge victory in the German capital. With time to go, anything can still happen, but you never know. Well, they have never won, Austria, in this stadium, the Olympiastadion. They've played here twice before. They lost 2-1 to Italy in the final of the 1936 Olympic Games. That is some time ago. And also they drew 2-2 against West Germany back in 1958. So it's been a long while since they've been in this stadium. But it might be a long while and the third time lucky, because they might be getting their first victory inside this wonderful arena here tonight. Well, before the last tournament, which proved to be the most successful campaign to date, Austria, Euro 2020, they were coached by Foda. They finished second in Group C, behind the Netherlands, and ahead of Ukraine and North Macedonia. They reached the knockout stages for the very first time in their history, but it was ended in that campaign ended 2-1 in extra time by the eventual champions Italy at Wembley in the end there. But they had never won a match at a Euros before the last tournament, when they managed victories against North Macedonia and Ukraine, and could be on for their first win of this tournament. Here comes Gregoritsch to try and add to their lead. Was sauntering into the box there, poorly given back. Posh with a strike, and what a save by Szczesny. That was arrowing into the top corner, it seemed. Posh with a nice shot, and it was arrowing into the top corner of the net. But Szczesny made a lovely save up with his right hand there. Really strong fingertip save. That is really good goalkeeping. Great effort. Great save. Corner will be to Austria. But Gregoritsch sauntering into the box, and then the half-hearted clearance from Poland back into Posh's path and allowed him to have that shot. Corner. Highly lifted in. Dancer was the only one near it, but he does get a touch to it, but just out of play. Goal kick. Six minutes plus additional time. Said it would be some comeback. They need 2 goals at least to get anything out of this game, Poland. You never doubt them when they have Robert Lewandowski on the pitch. But since he's come on the pitch, side have been second best. I wouldn't say that's his fault, but he hasn't had much service since coming on, or many touches to boot. But that second goal was really the difference maker, really, in the game. Touch of class from Baumgartner. Lovely delivery by Prass. And they're so comfortable here. There they come again. Ball in behind. Leimer tips it round the keeper. And it just goes ever so agonisingly wide there for Konrad Leimer. Again, really good football by Austria. In between the lines. Sabitzer out wide. The ball threaded through, in behind for Konrad Leimer, just tipped it past Szczesny, and from the narrow angle tried to go for the far corner. But the effort just agonisingly wide. And I wouldn't be surprised if Austria do get a fourth, because they had 1 or 2 very good chances in the last few minutes. They would become only the second side so far in the competition to score more than 3 goals. Only Germany has scored more than 3. And that was in that 5-1 win in the opening match against Scotland. So that would add it. Although Poland have come up the other end and have got a corner of their own. You never know. Urbanski's going to come on here in a moment for Poland. They're not going to make that change just yet. They're going to take the corner first. Whipped in. Head away at the front post. Follow up is a shot from distance, but that was well over the bar by Zielinski. And the change incoming, and that was his last involvement there. Petro Zielinski. And he's going to be replaced by Urbanski here. Kasper Urbanski replacing Petro Zielinski. At least they can still smile, those Polish fans. Smiling on despite the scoreline of the game. Well, Poland had never featured in the European Championships before 2008. This is their 5th successive, but they might be heading out. Here comes Wimmer. Again, couldn't find the space through, closed down. Had bodies forward, but couldn't find anyone. And couldn't find the way through himself. That's committed. That's incredible from Lienhardt. Finds it to Wimmer. Now Grigorich plays it forward. Picked up on the left-hand side. The cross comes in. Blocked there a bit. Referee having to deal with a few penalty claims, but there's nothing in that. A handball. VAR will have a look, but from the first angle, from what I saw, it didn't look like there was a foul, as Robert Lewandowski trying to charge forward there. Dispossessed, and Poland again giving away space here for Austria. Wimmer trying to go for the 1-2. Back it comes to Wimmer. Sivold. Just passing it around. Leimer. Minutes counting down. Well, Poland failed to win a game at Euro 2020. Lost 2-1 to Slovakia, 3-2 to Sweden, and a 1-1 draw against Spain, finishing bottom of Group E. Group D this time, and could be finishing in the same position with the same outcome if they don't win against France on match day 3, and that will be another painstaking dumping out of the competition for a nation that has a lot of quality, it has a lot of promise, but again hasn't been able to deliver, and arguably has been a tough group. Started off pretty well against the Netherlands, took the lead in that one, gave themselves a chance, ended up losing inside the last 10 minutes. And this one has gone a similar way. They didn't take the lead in this one. They went behind. They got themselves back on level terms, but couldn't go that one step further and take the lead. And Austria did in the end, and didn't look back from that point. It's key moments that can change games. I'll just run you through those. Their qualifying before we get the added time. Poland kicked off their qualifying under Fernando Santos, the former Portuguese manager who guided the Portuguese to victory in 2016 in the Euros. He was appointed in January of 2023 but dismissed in September. His side lost 3 of their first qualifiers against Czechia, Moldova and Albania. Michael Probers was then named as his successor, and they took 5 points from his first 3 qualifiers in charge of Poland, and they finished in Group E on 11 points, 4 behind both Albania and Czechia in third. In qualifying, had to come through the playoffs, beat Wales in a playoff final to get to this position. But what could have been for Wales, who today we've heard that Rob Page, their Welsh manager, was sacked after 3 years in charge. Couldn't get them to this tournament, got them ever so agonisingly close, but couldn't get the last bit over the line, and it would have been a real wonder to have both Wales, Scotland and England in this tournament. Well, would have brought back memories of Euro 2016 in France, when 4 of the 5 UK and Ireland nations were in the competition. Only Scotland failed to qualify for Euro 2016 out of the so-called home nations. Wales got to the semi-finals of that competition. Here comes Leimer. Down the left. Through the lines it goes. Grigorich will not get there in time to keep it in. goal kick. Limer has been everywhere today. He started in more of a 10 role in and around the edge of the box and off the right sometimes, but he's been a bit more deeper in the second half. He's dropped a bit deeper in the midfield and been involved in the build-up more than getting into the box and threatening. And it's actually worked out in his favour in the second half. He's been much more involved and much more impressive in the second period, and maybe that slight switch for Austria at half-time, maybe give them that slight edge, which ultimately could be a masterstroke by their head coach, Ralf Rangnick. 2 minutes of the 4 added on remain. Poland 1, Austria 3, and almost certainty now for Austria that they will get their first points of the competition and will have a decent shout that if they get something out of the Netherlands in match day 3, they could find themselves as one of the 4 best thirds, or even better than that. Oh, lovely cross. And Swiderski was in there, and it was Grusicki that got the touch on it, but it was well wide. Good effort there for Poland, but as I was saying, Austria could get better than third. They could sneak a top 2 place, but third would be still a good result for them, a good outcome, and if they get to the knockouts, they will equal their best record, as I said, their best record of getting to the knockouts at Euro 2020. And they could do the exact same here again. Last minute of the 94. And the impressive performance again continued. Austria, I give them a lot of praise against a pretty lackluster French side that opened the game, opened the tournament in Group D on Monday night. Pretty lackluster from France, but a really positive performance from Austria. Unlucky not to get anything from that first game. They lacked just their finishing. They were really good in their build-up play, their creativity in between the lines, and the threats they were causing for France. But ultimately, France got the only goal of the game, and that was the difference. Much more kind of efficient in the final third, much more threatening, much more what's the word? Clinical. That was the word I was looking for. Much more clinical from Austria today, and that's ultimately the difference between the two results from match day 1 and match day 2. They scored their goals today, and that's the final whistle. 3 points head in Austria's direction that could give them a bit of hope in possibly getting to the knockout stages for the second successive time in the European Championships. They had never won a match before the last tournament, and this is their third, their first of this tournament, and what a big one. It could be a devastating result for Michael Prober's and Poland, who sit bottom of the group, pointless after 2 games, and might need a massive victory over France, second rated in the world, to get any sort of hopes of a knockout place. And even if they beat France, there's no certainty of any sort of place in the knockouts. Devastating for Poland. They're not out yet, but it looks unlikely they will head through. Austria reignite their hopes. Final score in Berlin: Poland 1, Austria 3. There we are. That's the result of the first game of Group D on match day 2, and our final game of the day is a cracker indeed. You do not want to miss this one. The Netherlands take on France in Leipzig at the Red Bull Arena. Netherlands, the likes of their Cody Gakpo's, their Wout Weghorsts, their Memphis Depay's, Virgil van Dijk's at the sides. France filled with quality. Mbappe, will he get in the side? We'll find out team news very shortly. Seemed to be the hintings that he might be okay to continue after he broke his nose against Austria on Monday night. And the French captain more than likely to be involved. We will see very shortly. That game gets underway in about an hour's time. Do join us back here in about that time for kickoff. For now, thanks for your company, and we'll see you shortly.